Hey everybody, I'm Jake. This is Fastlane Classic Cars in St. Charles, Missouri, 15 minutes outside St. Louis to the west. And today we're not driving a tire-smoking, fire-breathing V8 muscle car monster. Instead, we have a pretty modest piece of actual automotive history. This is a 1923 Ford Model T Huckster. You can tell it's a Huckster because of the way it is. That was really just a nickname given to it though back in the day for its stout utility, because you couldn't actually go to the Ford dealership and say, I want a Model T Huckster. They didn't come like this. First, you had to go buy the base Model T chassis for $298. Then you would get a third-party coach builder to put the Huckster body on it. Something like Martin Perry, I think I looked up, was one of the coach builders for these. And you could get this wooden box basically put on it. You got a front seat and you have a utility bed in the back, and that's basically it. Obviously, this one being 103 years old has been restored at some point, and it's actually in really nice condition. I've driven it around a couple times. It runs and drives fantastic. You're not going to be bringing it on the highway though, because back in 1923 it had a top speed of 45 miles an hour, and that's due in part to the 2.9 liter four-cylinder engine that these came with that made a whopping, get this, 20 horsepower at 1600 RPM, and it made peak torque 83 foot-pounds of it at only 900 RPM. So it's a pretty low revving little four-cylinder engine. This is really closer to a tractor than it is a modern vehicle. Now this doesn't really drive like a modern vehicle. The first car that really drove like a modern car that Ford came out with was the Model A, which came after this. That had a normal clutch pedal on the left, brake pedal in the middle, gas pedal on the right, and an H-pattern shifter. This doesn't have any of that. And while it does still have less bits and bobs and controls than a brand new F-150, it's still somehow more complicated because every single control on this thing has a very genuine purpose, and you need to know how to use all of them if you want to put this thing around. But before I get into the driving aspect of it, it's got a 100-inch wheelbase. It only weighs about 1,500 pounds. It has a 2-speed planetary gear transmission, 2 forward gears, 1 reverse, a low and a high, kind of closer to a tractor, like I said, than a modern vehicle in that way. You have mechanical rear drum brakes. That means no hydraulic fluid, no brake master cylinder, nothing like that, just a bar that goes from the pedal to the drum brakes in the back, and that's how it stops. And if you'll notice, it doesn't have any brakes on the front. It's just the 2 drums in the back. But you're never going to be going fast enough to warrant 4-wheel Wilwood discs on this thing, so really not a big deal. It has a solid front axle with a transverse leaf spring and a live rear axle, again with another transverse leaf spring in it. Wooden spoked wheels. The frame of the wheel is metal, but the spokes in the middle are wood. And if you need to change your tire, you have it right here. This is your spare, and you can see the holes for the lug nuts in here. The entire center section of this wheel pops out of here, and then you just bolt the new wheel frame to it, and there you go, you have a brand new tire. Obviously you have the tan wooden body with the metal fenders that are all painted in black, and the metal running boards. Looks very nice. Inside the side windows you have some pretty cool glasswork. You have this little leaflet design and then the Ford logo inside of it, which looks very cool. A lot of ornate wooden features. I believe this top is vinyl, and this has, I believe, the coolest horn in existence. We should be putting these on modern cars today. It's like a curled brass horn with a little rubber diaphragm on the end of it, and you honk it like that. I find myself honking this anytime I drive this thing around, whether or not I have a reason, just because I think it's cool. And it actually sounds like a semi-truck. It's pretty loud, and I like it. And inside the Model T Huckster here is where things get a little bit complicated, especially if you're used to driving a modern car and not, well, a tractor. Because while it looks like there's not a whole lot going on in this interior, there's actually quite a bit that you have to keep track of. We'll start with the key. It goes right here inside the dash, and it turns to the left to turn on the ignition, and you have 1 gauge in here for amperage. That is it. In order to start the Model T, there's a little metal button down here on the floor that engages the starter. Down and to the right of the amperage gauge though, you have these 2 little metal levers. The one on the left is for how much fuel is going to the engine, and the one on the right is your choke. So sometimes you have to give the choke a little bit of a pull when you go to start this thing for the first time. This big handbrake over here is what engages high gear. Right now I have it set to low gear / neutral. If I wanted to move it forward, I believe it would go into high, but I'm gonna leave it where it is because I'm only gonna drive it around in the parking lot today, and I don't need to get this thing up on the highway doing 45 miles an hour. Now you'll notice 3 pedals on the floor, and I told you that it's not like a modern car with 3 pedals, and you might be looking at that thinking, but it does have 3 pedals. What is this guy talking about? Well, these 3 pedals don't do the same thing as a normal manual transmission 3-pedal setup that you'd find in a modern car. The brake is the one on the right. That's correct. The right pedal is the brake. If you want to stop, hit that one. The middle one, do not hit if you're going forward because that's reverse. The middle pedal, all it does is engage the reverse gear. So if you hit that, you're gonna start moving backwards. And then the left pedal is quote unquote your clutch. That one, if you depress, engages the gear and you'll start moving forward. If you let off of it, it disengages the gear. So it's kind of backwards from a modern clutch where you would let out to engage the gear and push it in to engage the clutch. So when I go to start this thing up, I'm gonna hold the brake down there on the right and give it a start. And then when I wanna start moving, I'm gonna take my foot off the brake and use this left pedal with my left foot to start moving forward. The other two controls in here you'll see up here on the steering wheel. The one on the left here controls ignition timing and the one on the right here controls throttle. When I go to start it, I'm gonna depress the ignition timing stalk a little bit and the throttle one to give it a little bit of gas. And then as soon as this thing starts running on its own and warming up, I'm gonna put the ignition all the way up and then I can start moving. This also means that if you wanna go faster, none of the pedals on the floor are quote unquote the gas pedal. It's this thing on the steering wheel is your throttle. If you wanna go faster, you have to give it more throttle up here on the steering wheel. You do have a windshield wiper, which I was actually surprised about when I first got in this thing. It's not electric though. It's just a manual wiper up here and you have to swing it manually with your arm back and forth if you drive this thing around in the rain. You might notice the little lanterns on the front of the car. You do have modern headlights that you can use with this little lever here that you put the key in, but I think you can also light the lanterns on the front of this thing. And besides that, there's really not another creature comfort inside of here. You don't have, say, air conditioning or heated seats or anything like that. It's kind of just this cloth bench that's sitting on top of a wooden frame, and that's it. There is room for a second person to be sitting here next to me, but they don't get a backrest. Only I get a backrest on this side. And no doors as well. You can't get out the driver's side. There's a big tire mounted here, and the passenger side is just a big hole. Although I wouldn't really worry about anyone stealing it because I doubt anyone alive today still understands how to use this and would get very far. And I'm pretty sure that's about everything I wanted to go over with this Model T. So now I'm gonna put it around, and I might actually get Chris to sit in this, I guess, passenger seat and put it around with me, just around the parking lot real quick to show that it runs and drives, because it actually does very well. So let me go grab him. All right, ignition on.
Ignition on.
A little bit of timing, a little bit of throttle. Foot pedal starter. Sometimes I use my hand.
There he is.
And there you go.
And there he has it.
You wanna hop in, Chris?
I want to hop in. Here we go.
Here, I'll hold that.
Oh, good.
Hop on in here.
Well, this is very, very comfortable.
Yes. You can hold that. There's your temperature gauge. It's out there.
Oh, very nice. Nice place to put it.
It's just a thermometer. And then you got your amperage gauge in here.
Very nice.
That's the only gauge you have.
Okay, then.
Are you ready?
All right. Set and action.
Then take my foot off the brake.
Oh, good job.
And then hit this. And that engages the gear. I'm going to give it a little more throttle, maybe. And I think now that it's running, I don't need to give it that much timing. Oh, that's the brake. Ah. Here we go.
So here we go.
We're putting around.
We're putzing.
We are putzing.
We're engaged in first gear.
You having fun yet?
Well, I'm having a blast. The speed is scorching. There you go.
Honk the horn.
I feel like that's out of a movie.
Now we are just in first gear.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Now it's hitting its stride.
Whoa, slow down. Are you taking his turn? Hey, look, there's a camera.
There is a camera.
We've come a long way since the old Corvettes and Shelby truck days.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not a Voodoo engine.
No, this is not a Voodoo 5 liter.
2.9 liters.
Is it really that big?
L-head. 20 horsepower.
Slow it down.
And then, if I want to, I'm going to pull it over here and I'm going to back it in. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn on that camera.
Can we turn it on?
Whoops.
Ah, well.
That's all right.
We're backing it in here?
You want to hop out and film me driving it?
I do want to do that, because why wouldn't I? It's
From
so
the
much
outside?
fun.
Here, give me your mic. Actually, you can keep it.
All right, then.
Here you go.
There
Take
you go.
mine.
Oh, I'll take your mic.
Thank you.
It's like a flyby, but different.
whisper quiet. Actually, it is a really cool 103-year-old Model T. One door, and then the back door, of course, to put stuff in. And you need stuff. It's a great parade vehicle. Here he comes. He's gonna back it on in. Putting it behind the wall, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the handling and responses.